If you can dream it, it can become your reality. Welcome to Dreamcatchers, where we meet entrepreneurs who have left their home country to move to Costa Rica and start a business in paradise. These are real people and their real stories behind following their dreams to a little Central American paradise and how they made it work despite the odds. Welcome to Dreamcatchers Costa Rica.
Hey everyone, I'm Rebecca Clower and I'm here in front of the world-famous Surfbox restaurant. This restaurant is owned by a dear friend of mine named Natasha Avrith, who hails from Montreal. We're gonna go talk to her to see what it takes to run a successful business here in Costa Rica. Natasha, tell me when you moved to Costa Rica.
I moved here in July of 2012.
Can you tell me why you moved to Costa Rica and how many times had you visited the country before moving here permanently?
I visited for the first time in 2010 and really fell in love with the country. I was sort of just like looking for a way to get here. I had visited in between, I think twice more before committing to a year. In Canada, we get a year maternity leave, so after my fourth child was born, I decided rather than suffer the cold for that year that I would move here, register the kids in an international school, and the rest is history.
So can you tell me what inspired you to open up Surfbox?
So I think I opened Surfbox, my husband and I opened Surfbox really out of a necessity. I think after living here for 4 years, there were certain foods, like comforts from home, that we felt lacking. Originally it was just a coffee shop with a few food items, and since then we've expanded and continued introducing items that we can't find here or miss from home.
Why did you ultimately decide to settle in this area for both your personal life and professional life where the restaurant is concerned?
We chose Flamingo because of the infrastructure. We felt that there were some kind of security as far as schools for the children. There are many good schools in the area. We also felt that there were, hospitals within reach, airport, so that really was the deciding factor on choosing Flamingo.
What can you tell me the challenges that you have encountered since starting a business in Costa Rica?
So, opening a business in Costa Rica logistically has been really surprisingly easy. It didn't take a lot on our part. Our lawyers were able to work everything out before opening, so that was a really surprising.
How easy it was.
Yeah, it was surprising how easy that was. As far as finding employees that had the same work ethics, we wanted customer service is super important to us. Things that we expected out of our staff. That was a little bit trickier, and that has been a challenge. Luckily, we've had the same staff pretty much since we opened, and yeah.
There's other expats that are watching this show, and so my question to you is, what kind of advice would you offer to them about, number one, moving to another country, and number two, starting a business from scratch?
If I were to give advice to someone who's thinking of moving to another country, I would say just go for it. I feel like fear sometimes paralyzes us, and really the experience has been so positive for us and also for the children, to have that other perspective, other culture really has been overall just such a beautiful, wonderful experience. And I know that I could do it again, and expose our children to another culture. And I think, a lot of us live just so scared to restart, but really it can be a really beautiful thing.
Despite the challenges that you encountered in the business, would you do it again?
Absolutely. I feel totally gratified. The more years that I'm doing this, the more I'm in a position where I feel, I'm physically working less, but I'm really able to enjoy, the part of owning a restaurant that I love, which is meeting new people, being in the kitchen when I want to be and not, all day. So it's been great. I look forward to opening more restaurants, in the future.
Awesome. Did you ever dream that this little place called Surfbox would grow, that it would be #1 on TripAdvisor, that it would be featured in travel magazines, that people would search you out to interview you and find out more about the business? Did you ever think that that would be a possibility for you in your business?
I definitely don't think that was the intention, but obviously, we hope that we would be at the place that locals. I think that was really the reason. All the work we put in is so that our local community really has a place that they're proud to have in their community, that they want to bring their friends. We don't advertise at all, so word of mouth has been just the only way that we have gained any recognition, which is really amazing and also feels very rewarding. And social media, which has been a huge way of us controlling what we put out there.
So I just wanted to know, do you speak Spanish? And how about Dan? Does he speak Spanish?
So I grew up in a home. My mother's from Venezuela, so I grew up in a home where Spanish was spoken. Unfortunately, I never spoke back to my mother in Spanish, so I was able to understand everything. But as far as fluency, I think I still speak sort of gringo-like, but I'm able to totally communicate in Spanish fluently now. And as far as Dan, he came here with almost zero Spanish and is able to run a business, is able to, he is totally fluent. So that's been incredible to watch.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
So can you tell me a little bit about your background, where you're from originally, and about your family, if you would?
So I moved here from Montreal, Canada, and I moved here with my 4 children, and 2 years ago we had our 5th child. So we have a little Tico, and I think we're done now.
So the $1 million question is, how do you do it all? Who helps you in this daily, being a mom, running a restaurant, and everything else you do in your day?
So I'm super fortunate to have an incredible partner who really picks up all my slack and does, even more. He's totally, an equal parent, and also, in the restaurant, he has a huge part of, the logistical part of it. He takes care of all the things that I really don't want to take care of, which is crucial to this restaurant succeeding. I also have some help at home, which I don't know that I would be able to afford, if I lived in Canada, but living here, that's been, she's part of my family.
So you moved here in 2012. It's been 7 awesome years. And my question to you is, how do you feel Costa Rica has changed over the years? Has it become easier to live here and run a business here? Or do you feel it's harder? Are there any challenges, or do you feel that things have progressively gotten better over the years?
So over the last 7 years, I feel like we have just grown so much and advanced in ways such as having internet. More and more schools are coming to the area. We've seen more expats move here. So more clinics pop up. It really has just, we have everything. There's a marina coming in, so we expect to see even more growth in the area. The roads too have been huge. That is something everything was unpaved, and now it's a comfortable drive.
I remember those days.
We even have a speed bump now.
We do have speed bumps. Now they want to slow people down. Well, listen, I think it's awesome what you've done. I think that anybody that watches this will appreciate what you've done, as you created it from nothing. And those of us who live in this country know what it is to create something from scratch, to have a business that's successful. and you don't do it by just sitting back. So I think, I really want to thank you for letting me pick your brain and take some of your time, and here's to all the success in the world. Cheers.
Thanks, Becky.